Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm sure you can see by the title of this video, but today I'm just going to be showing you all of my, what I would consider kind of Halloween based palettes. I have excluded some that are kind of giving you more like your Summerween kind of vibe, slightly Halloween, but not quite specifically Halloween. Mainly, I think I have a couple Gourmande Girls that I did not include in this time. Hopefully, maybe in a future video, I will be able to show those beauties off. The main reason why I'm creating this video is if you are similar to me, for one, I'm really trying to get some more use out of my collection. I find, of course, I love makeup and I'm always going to be buying, new makeup, or not always, but I will, continue to buy new makeup. But I also have a lot of beauties in my collection that really do need some more love. I do kind of already have this going along with another video where I'm showing off my entire eyeshadow collection, kind of cube by cube, and then creating looks under my like shorts or Instagram kind of vibe. So feel free to check that out if you do want to see some looks I'm creating. I'm not planning that with this section just because all of these already, either I have used some of them or they will be used in future like shorts videos. So definitely stay tuned for that if you are curious. I believe there's going to be about 8 or 9 parts to the entire series. So for like the actual eyeshadow collection, so definitely tune into that if you are curious. For this part, really just mainly wanting to look at it, get some love out of my collection. But for 2, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tempting Halloween launches coming out. And if you are anything like me, it's just, of course, just so freaking tempting. And we have such great stuff, or like I have great stuff in my collection. I hope you do as well. And I think it's the moments where we really just need to dig into our collection just to see the beauties that we have, be it if you're trying to save money like myself. If you do not know, I am trying to move next year, beginning of next year. So I'm really trying to get my budget just under control. But even just in general, like once I move, I really just want my budget in control in general as well. And I think that just really appreciating what I have. I think that's a big thing as well, is that though I love makeup and consuming is such a big part of our just even current society, but I think it's also just appreciating some of the things that we have is also nice. So hopefully that kind of all makes sense. But let's go ahead and get started with our palettes. So up first, I'm going to consider these a duo. Holy yowzers. I had a feeling that was going to happen. I have all my palettes stacked up. Kind of weird. Okay, I'm just going to set some to the side. So first up, I'm going to consider these a duo, even though I do use them interchangeably, and I do already have shorts with these recently, because this is part of my first like series. Pretty much all of these in the beginning you're going to see I have, because I have these all in order because I have my collection currently just in order. So these babies I already do have shorts if you do want to see, but these came out last year, I believe around Halloween time, in collaboration with Ice Cream Beauty Box. Ice Cream Beauty Box, as far as I know, no longer exists. They're kind of a crappy company. Last time I checked, though, they're not allowing you to subscribe, so that's good. Like, at least they're, like, not allowing you to waste your money. But yeah, I, as a person who had Ice Cream Beauty Box, I've never gotten a refund of my money. So yeah, that's still kind of crummy. But anyways, these are also from Nomad Cosmetics. Obviously did in collaboration. The artwork is done by Drizzle by the Bunny. I definitely had a video somewhere. Oh, no. I dropped one of these today, so that could be why. I'm gonna have to reprocess. One of the shades shattered. That's so sad. Okay, so first palette I'm going to show you is Trait, and that is where the shade is shattered, which is right here. I'm going to be very careful. I do believe created several looks with this palette last year. I think I posted most of them. I really hope I did. I really like this palette. Upon first glance, I did not think I was going to like this palette just because it felt kind of random, but also soft. Like I tend to go for, you probably till today, I tend to go for more bold looks, but as I kind of really dug in, and as I really have started to do with a lot of the palettes in my collection, you are able to create some really cool stuff, or like I'm able to create some really cool stuff, and I'm really just enjoying that. Like I super challenge you, if you have not tried that, just spending time with your palettes, again, doing as I've been doing makeup bingos at times. That's what I even did for this look today. And I love it. It's, you'll see it later on. It's using 2 palettes that we have in here. They're both by Gourmande Girls. And just doing that, I was like, whoa. Cause like I had no clue what I was going to create today. And I was like, whoa, like it's just fun. It makes it exciting. Anyways, next up, Trait. So this one, I will say, is a bit more of a slightly chaotic color story. And why I say that is that for me, just a lot of these colors don't feel like they go. You can definitely make them work, like the black, purple, green. There's a gray, like if you do maybe at times like some of the things I've done with my looks, then you definitely can. But I do find like maybe the red is a bit hard to add in. I mean, again, as I'm looking at it, and I feel like now especially too that I've been challenging myself to play with more with my collection, I really am able to create more looks. So maybe it's just hopefully my creativity is working, which I love that, and that's great. But it definitely in the beginning was kind of a struggle for me, and you know, whatever. The formula for both of these palettes is really nice. I would say the shattering was probably just me dropping. I don't think that these are old enough for the formula to be expired and or unstable. I really do think it's just because I have dropped it recently, which is kind of a bummer, but usually shimmers press together really well. So that is exciting. Next up is the Sinister palette by Cosmic Beauty. I played again with this palette recently, and I'm so happy I did. This has such a dark, murky kind of color story. I don't know if I'd say murky, but very dark, very red, but it has some purples. And I really have enjoyed getting to know some of my Cosmic Beauty palettes recently, and I'm tempted in the future to buy a couple from them maybe soon, especially now that I've heard they have a warehouse in the US, which is where I am, which is awesome because the last time I bought anything from Cosmic Beauty, I think I bought like 5 or 6 palettes just because I think you had to spend like a certain amount to either get free shipping or lower shipping, and shipping from the UK was very expensive. So I'm happy that they do have that option now. I really hope that they re-release this palette because a lot of people really did like it, and I think that people missed out on it because I believe you could only get this in a collection. So yeah, I really hope that they do re-release this one because I think a lot of people liked it, and I do think it would go well. I love them. I really want that orange palette they have right now, but I'm trying to like resist because I know I have the colors, but like it's really pretty. Like it makes you want to play with something orange, which I thought I probably just need to do that soon. All right, up next we have, and I know I've just used this one also recently in another video, but we have 2 palettes from Fantasy Cosmetica. This is the Witch's Familiar palette. I do believe this also came out last year. I always forget that I keep the little card inside so that I don't lose it. But this is our color story. It is in collaboration with Batty Bean. Such a lovely color story. If you have this palette and if you missed out on my video, I think a couple weeks back, where I talked about this palette, somebody who I recently, or it might have been last week, somebody who I recently have started following has kind of taught me the idea of taking palettes and cutting parts off. So they did this, and I was like, whoa, like I know it's like such a simple idea, but it was just really cool and kind of made the palette renew for me, like reinvent it. So if you have this palette, I would definitely suggest doing that. Fantasy Cosmetica has such great quality, really great shimmers, 100% magnetic. Love that so much. And just this packaging is seriously so cute. They also put their labels on the side of the palette if that concerns you. I personally love it. It is one of my favorite things when brands do decide to do it. So I really do hope that a lot more brands do it in the future. Thankfully, they do. And I'm like so intrigued to try out more from them in the future. Harvest of Souls, honestly, I do not know if this is a Halloween release, but it's giving me spooky vibes, and I know this is such a popular palette. I really do hope that they bring this back soon because I do not believe it's available, and a lot of people unfortunately missed out on this one, and it is just so good. It is so good. It is, I'm just gonna say, their best palette they've come out with. They have some really good color stories, don't get me wrong. I think this might be one of the largest, but this just has just gorgeous shades. All the shimmers are really nice, mattes are really nice. I mean, they have such a great formula, but it's also just a really freaking lovely palette. So I really hope that they bring this one back. Fantasy Cosmetica, you are seriously so good. And they recently followed me on Instagram, which is like so exciting. I'm like, you know, your girl's growing a little bit, slowly but surely. We're growing, so that is super exciting. All right, coming up next, we have quite a few from Glamlite. If you know my feelings about Glamlite from last week's video, but if not, I will share a little bit because we did talk about several of these last week. Glamlite as a whole, I used to like them a lot more. I have not recently purchased anything from them because I feel like they've really moved into just branding, as in, like, I think right now they have a Barbie collection, and like I'm happy for them that they're doing really well, but I feel like as a consumer, I feel like their formula has suffered, and I really feel like it's just, they really just are about what the packaging looks like. Again, I haven't tried some of their stuff, so it definitely could be good, don't get me wrong. And then also I really feel like they're very, like, I see them, or I've heard of them a lot on TikTok. I know that there's a lot of discounts on TikTok. So again, if you're going for a more budget approach, Glamlite definitely could be your brand. I just formulation and all of that, I don't think that that's where their strong suit is at. I think that there really are about, so for example, this first one here is the Ghost Face palette. I think they're really selling that Ghost Face, and though it's fine, it just at times to me is just not that good. But anyways, Ghost Face palette, they have re-released this one, I think last year. So this is the Ghost Face Lives, but they did do another one because a lot of people were bummed that this did not have reds, so they did add some reds. To be honest, that really wasn't my issue. I mean, people are not wrong in saying they should add reds because hello, Ghost Face, red like blood, why wouldn't you? My biggest issue with this palette is that I still remember when they came out with their video showing all the beautiful shines in this palette. And that's another thing too. I'm definitely 100% going to say that I get why it works for marketing, but myself as a consumer, and I would hope for you, I know this is not the point of the video, I'm really sorry, but I just wanted to also show you my collection. There are some beauties in here though coming up, do not get me wrong. And I can still create a look with this, I love that. But one thing I really hate, just in general, sorry, like as a random tangent, I really hate when people swatch shimmers and they put light over it and it makes it look so sparkly. And why I say that is that as a consumer, I think that you're never going to be able to achieve that unless you are directly under a light. I, even as a content creator, kind of have not been able to achieve that. And at times I feel like my shimmers don't look as good, even though, like, to be fair, I think it does look pretty. My makeup usually does look pretty, but I feel like the way that they make it looks so freaking beautiful. And they did that with this palette. And some of the shades that they did that with are some of these mattes with some sparkles that instantly fall off the moment that you put them on your eyes. You put them on your eyes and the glitter dissipates pretty freaking quickly. These shades definitely have a purpose, really helpful with blending, which is something I love. But as in terms of like payout, no. And so that's what I would really say is disappointed about this and disappointed with what they did. This palette is fine. This palette is gorgeous. It honestly is like a neutral, leaning, slightly different colors kind of dream. It's all kind of, I would say, deep and like a bit muted, which is really cool. They should have just sold it as that. Do you know what I mean? That was just disappointing to me because I really bought it because the shimmer. And yeah, this is the last collection you'll see coming up is the last collection I had purchased from Glamlite because every single palette in this collection, they did 3 collections for Halloween and I bought all 3 of them and I was disappointed with every single one. So that's just a big one, whatever, that's a bummer. But again, as we are doing this series, this other series I'm doing, I'm really trying to still get some use out of these. I bought it, I purchased it. I want to try and show it some love and then bring in some other shimmers if need be. But Ghost Face is, yeah, just one. I feel like after we get through Glamlite, everything else I'm gonna love. So I know I feel like, again, like I already said, I feel like I'm like talking such crap. And there are 2 from Glamlite that I actually really do love that'll be coming up in a second. But I just want to kind of show you everything in my collection, just if you're curious, at least for Halloween vibes, and tell you kind of my thoughts if you are curious. Next up is Nightmare on Elm Street, the Freddy Krueger palette. This of the 2 is probably the better one. The shimmers in this are just okay. Glamlite's mattes are pretty good. I don't really feel like most brands suffer with mattes. I think it's the shimmers that a lot of us want. And the shimmers are all the top row. You'll see in a second, they did a Scooby-Doo collection where the shimmers were just a ton better than these ones. So yeah, this one's perfectly fine. The color story is actually kind of cool. It's kind of muted, greens and stuff. But of the 2, I'm going to show you the other one in a second. Definitely my favorite. So this next one is the Never Sleep Again palette. It is basically an all red palette. Same, again, vibes, mattes, and shimmers. The shimmers in this are, okay, I guess not quite the same because they did swap these 2. This is the matte, this is the shimmer. The shimmers in this one are complete and utter trash. In my opinion, maybe the silver is okay, but the red is trash. Like the pink is trash. They're not very good. It was really disappointing. Again, the mattes in here are really great. Really pretty. I can only maybe see like 1 or 2 looks that you can create, so that's also kind of disappointing. But honestly, really, it's just the fact the shimmers are trash. I have previously made this palette out of my collection, and I might in the future to my archive, or I'm not fully sure, just because I feel like I never want to like get rid of something that I could get use out of, but it's not one I want to reach for. Super exciting. So these next 2, these are the Scooby-Doo ones from Glamlite. This is basically the last collection that I feel like was really worth it. I know that the Betty Boop one, people also say was really good, but I never tried that one out. But I'm still going to talk about these individually, and I'm going to be careful because I did try to depot some of these at one point. So yeah, we're going to be careful. But I know some people did not like this or these palettes. This is the Rutro Raggy palette. It's the more kind of green. It's that same vibe vibe we were talking about before. So this is all mattes, all shimmers, but the shimmers in here are so good. Like, and that's what's so disappointing. Granted, this palette's old, so hopefully, but like, I hope you can see this green. I know my lighting is not the best, but like, it's so pigmented, so sparkly. Like, hopefully you could just see that like shine. That's what disappoints me, is I'm like, I know you can do it because you've done it before. You've done it before, and it saddens me. But this is a definite love that we'll be getting to you soon, so I'm really freaking excited for that. Next up, we also have the Creeps and Curls palette. This one I know for sure I did depot one of the shades, so I'm going to be careful with it. It is a bit of a deeper color story, which kind of makes sense. It's like all purples and blues, and then again another row of shimmers. Just really freaking gorgeous shades. Like I said, I know some people did not like this. Teresa's dad did not like it, but I love it. So I think it's like a personal preference, but I think the shimmers in here are freaking amazing compared to what they come out with now. What they come out with now is like honestly trash. Next up, we did recently talk about this one, so it's a Friday the 13th palette. Again, as I said before, packaging, they always do so good at that, but I would rather take like a good palette over packaging any day, if I'm completely honest. This is the Camp Crystal Lake Friday the 13th. Are they all Friday the 13th? Honestly, they might be. I don't even fully remember. This is the Camp Crystal Lake. So we did talk about this one recently. I barely played with this palette, so I'm definitely excited to play with it soon. But it does have some subpar, decent shimmers from what I can remember. Interesting color story. Pretty similar, if we're honest, to not the Scooby-Doo ones, but the ones before. There's definitely colors in here that are duplicated, but it's still a pretty cool one. Mainly it's the packaging that is the coolest part about this, but we'll be playing with it soon, and I am so excited. Okay, now I get to stop being so negative. I hate being negative about makeup, but I also just want to be honest with you about my thoughts about some of these palettes in my collection. I have no idea what that light is back there. Then it's like really freaking bright. Oh, that's my lipstick case. Sorry, there's like a reflection right there. Hopefully you can see it, and it was freaking me out. I was like, what is that? Anyways, okay, so these are the two palettes that are on my eyes. Sorry, I'm like shaking the camera. So Gourmande Girls recently relaunched the Spooked and Haunted palettes. These are the OG ones. So I'll show you off. Spooked was, I believe, their first Halloween palette that they came out with. I do really like Spooked. It's such a pretty color story. I will, if I'm honest. How do I say this in a way? Because I love Gourmande Girls with all my heart. Some of the shades in here, most of the shimmers are good, but I do wish a couple might be amped up like a teeny bit. Their formula now is really freaking good. So I do feel like this one could use a teeny bit of a tune up, but honestly, most of them are really good. I think it's only two that I can really think of. So we'll say Apple Bob, watch them, and be like, okay, I'm an idiot. Apple Bob, and then Treat. Okay, Treat is actually probably fine. It might not, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm like high. It might honestly be that this palette, I will just say, kind of challenges me, which you know I love if you are not new to my channel. But I don't look at it, obviously, and I'm like, okay, I could create this. Like, it's a variety of shades that I kind of struggle with. But in a way, again, I love that because it really challenges my creativity. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. This one is really pretty. Like I said, they did recently re-release an updated palette. The formulas are staying exactly the same. It's just the palette art that is updated. And then they re-released it because they had, I believe they sold out and then like discontinued them. But I do believe that their Halloween palettes are like their biggest ones that do well. This is Haunted. So again, has been re-released. I didn't say I don't remember if I said I did a makeup bingo for this look. So I used both of these palettes. This is the Haunted palette. I am so happy that this palette is starting to get its flowers because when it first released along Nightshade, it was Nightshade came out in, I think like June, July, and then Haunted came out directly after it. And though there are some slight similarities, I really do not think that there is much. And honestly, I love this palette so much. I love the murky greens. The shimmers in here are so nice. This shade in particular is so good. And one thing that I always kind of never noticed, and then I think I did when they did Apparition, their most recent palette, is named after this shade, which is crazy. Or yeah, I know that they've given us like hints or whatever that is going to be some of their next palettes, and I love this one. I love the colors in this one. It's really nice. Next one is going to be the Calavera palette, which I actually did recently use in a video I did. 3 looks, 3 videos, so check that out if you are curious to see. I did 3 looks, 3 palettes for like summerween kind of vibes. But this is the Calavera palette. This came out a couple of years ago. This is my first ever PR palette from the brand, so massive thank you again to them. I love the color story of this palette, and it has some really good shimmers. I will be honest and say I wish it had a couple of more. It does have one of those like sequin matte shades here that is really pretty, but unfortunately most of the sparkle that's in there kind of sadly does fade away. But it still is a really gorgeous color story. I would honestly say even maybe a couple of the mattes. Possibly we could tone down and then add some more shimmers. But I still really love this color story. I love this row up here, this like pastel goodness. Like even if this is a 6-pan, like just think about it. That up there on the corner would be so cute. With some like shimmers. I love that. I love this palette. It is not available. I don't know how well it did. I'm assuming because it hasn't re-brought out, maybe not as well. But then again, that happened with Haunted. So, you know, I vote for Calavera to come back because it's a really freaking pretty color story. And I love it. Day of the Dead themed. So, just so fun. And like I said, Gourmande Girls, love them so much. All right, next we have from NYX Cosmetics, and they have the Halloween Town palette. I will have to do another one of these videos around the more holiday time, so probably somewhere around November. If you don't know I start Halloween early in this house, as I think a lot of us do, to be completely honest. August 1st when Halloween starts. Oh, for me, I mean, spooky time is like all year round, but that's when Halloween vibe starts. My house is already decorated. I mean, we got Hocus Pocus behind us year freaking round, so you know we love Halloween. But anyways, this is the Halloween Town palette. Sorry if I'm not showing it off great. It has that like lenticular thing. I will say Melt, though their shimmers are not like the best. These are still decent. Melt does it better though, in my opinion, than Glamlite. We're gonna ignore that for right now. For one, they labeled the edge, which I love. Unfortunately, Melt has been known, which possibly might have just happened to me. I think one of the shades crumbled out. Love that. They have been known, unfortunately, for sometimes their formula not being the most stable. I'm not fully sure. I personally have not had any issues. I have several of their palettes, probably the more updated formula like Gemini 2, I'm blanking, but I have never seen like issues with mold. I know some people have those, so I guess, you know, whatever, risky, but I don't know. I've had this palette, I think, for like 2 years now, though, and I think it's fine, except for that shade that just crumbled out, which, you know, it does happen, especially because makeup is only meant to last a year. It's crazy eyeshadow palettes, but I do love this one. And the packaging is just, it's made well. That's something I will say that I give Melt their flowers for. It's made well. It has that labeling on the side, which we all love. And it just, everything is thought through. Everything is thought through. Like, I would love if they ever re-released their Beetlejuice collection. I was in the makeup game at that time, but I really wasn't like super in it at that time, and I regret not buying those palettes. They're gorgeous. They probably, you know, whatever. They're just something that like I want. Just like also, oh my god, hold on. I completely forgot to almost pull this palette out. I just remembered Muerte because I really want the other half of it. I know that this was they re-released it, and though it's like not my favorite, there's just something that's like so iconic about this palette, and that's something I really do just enjoy about the brand. Their mattes, though, are superb. And the one thing I will say, too, about Melt that I always forget to mention, from the get-go, they have been magnetic. Like, I believe from the get-go. And that is amazing to me. Like, talk about an artist, like, driven brand from the get-go. I love that. And the other one, it's the other piece of a skull, and I do believe it is magnetic to, like, put them together to create the skull. Like, so I need my other half of the skull. I'm gonna have to buy it on eBay right now. It's not a massive thing, but I do want it, and I do love this color story. This color story was everything years and years ago. And I think something as well that I would love, and again, if you have this palette, as I have mentioned in other videos of mine, having all shimmer palettes, which I know not a lot of us at times love, but having all shimmer palettes can really amp up these palettes that we loved from our past because the shimmers just weren't it, or sometimes the formula just doesn't it, but we're able to recreate with better stuff. And I love that. Literally, it's fun. And I think it's a great way to get more use out of your reflection. Okay, next up, Nomad Cosmetics. I only have one palette from them for Halloween. Crazy. I mainly really only started getting into Nomad though last year, so that possibly is why. But this is Witch City Salem palette. Nomad as well, it does it freaking well. My only like teeny little thing is I do wish that they would add the palette on the side, because I think all that there is just an N for Nomad. But I mean, they also do the lenticular thing, but they do it freaking well, in my opinion. It's done really well, very clean. But, and then I recently did, I think again, I used this palette in a 3 Looks 3 palettes video. And I also at times struggled with this color story. And really doing makeup bingo kind of vibe can really freaking help. And I love this palette so much. It has like this green is so gorgeous. But I had so much fun playing with this palette recently. It's really a good one. And I do think it is, oh shit. And I do think that it is still available. So if you've been on the fence about this one, I recommend it. I think it's really pretty. Oh, I always forget to say, you can use my code Maddie. So Nomad is not affiliated, but you do get to save a discount, and I really do appreciate if you do use my code. I just realized, I wish we could see it more, but there's like really cute like pictures on the inside of the palette. I think it's the same that's like on the palette, but like I just love that and I think that's so cool. Gourmande Girls, you can also use, it is an affiliated code Maddie to save you some money off. Thank you if you do decide to use my code. I really do appreciate it. Okay, moving in next. So these both, I forget the brand, Notoriously Morbid. I wish they as well. They're definitely, I'm going to say, a bit more indie. I've not heard anything from them in a really long time, and I always struggle with them as a brand because I want to love them, but they take a really long time to get products out to you. So that's always where I kind of struggle with them. I probably give my thoughts before those. So definitely check out past videos if you're curious. And our mainly is here to talk about makeup. So let's just do that. So first I'm going to start off with, I guess technically I'm cheating a little bit by including Gold Dust Woman palette, inspired of course by the NYX song Gold Dust Woman. And here is our color story. It's a really cute palette. You only have 3 mattes and you have a bunch of shimmers. I think in the beginning I hated this palette, which is so crazy. This shade though in particular is so gorgeous. I don't think I liked it in the beginning. I would love to play with this again, and I will. I'm so happy that I decided to keep it because hello? Like, this color story is gorgeous. And like, it's just fitting. And then the art is done in studio, which is beautiful. And then it has this like, I don't think it's going to show up, but it's like this flip of like gold across the screen. It's really freaking pretty. I feel like I might have to check them out in the future. I think where I struggle with them is though they have beautiful stuff, you're not going to get it for the season that you want. And that's the part that is hard. Like I think if you ordered a Christmas palette, you're probably not going to get it in time for Christmas. And I haven't checked out them in a while, but that was always a hard part for me, is that things took a really long time. And then they also at times came out with a lot of stuff at once. And that was something as well that was like a difficult, like I don't understand what it takes to own a brand, but it was always difficult. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic again and my ramblings. So this is the fall palette again from a couple years back. So I do believe both of these are no longer available. You have 3 mattes here. They're not looking super deep, but these are all pretty deep. I would say deep to mid-tone shades, but the shimmers is really where they shine. These shimmers are so freaking nice. I'll be honest, they have done before where they do like I forget what it is, but they do like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a calendar. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully I'll remember. But it's like a calendar kind of thing. And then like every day leading up to something, you get to like open one of the things. And I love that idea. I love that they did that. They did a lot of pigments, which I'm not a big pigment person. I do still own said pigments, but I just don't use pigments, sadly. So if they did though, like a lot more of their single shades kind of vibe, I would be down for that. I would be down for that because they have some really cool stuff, really unique, really interesting. And also one of my favorite palettes that I have that's like a singles palette, looks like a coffin, is from them. So love Notoriously Morbid for that. Definitely do check them out because I've also used their liquid lipsticks, which I also did really like. So I should look into them again. Coming in with a random drugstore one. So far, everything has been indie. Predominantly everything in my collection is indie. But this is by NYX Cosmetics. This is when they came out with their Beetlejuice movie. Or I guess Beetlejuice was the movie. This is the color for the recently deceased palette. Love that it's on the side. Kind of unique color or unique packaging. And then here is the color story. The color story is interesting. The shimmers in here are very nice. I will definitely say in the mattes as well. They are specific, I believe, on the back, which ones are eye safe and which ones are not. I've used them all over. Like this blue is really freaking good, but I think it's not considered eye safe. So again, you know, use your caution there. I don't even think this palette is available anymore, but it's such a unique and fun little color story, and it was quite affordable. I think it was like 16 bucks. So I definitely want to keep an eye out for NYX. A lot of times they don't come out with the most exciting color stories, which I get because they're more like drugstore everybody kind of brand. But who knows? Hopefully for Halloween they'll come out with something super cool and fun and creative. So last year for, I believe, Halloween time, maybe this is the year before, honestly, I don't remember, but this is by Poppy and Fluff Cosmetics. I have not tried anything from them in a while as well because they also come from the UK. Tariffs. I do know though that NYX Cosmetics sells their stuff on their site, so I really think I might just need to one day, if I do want to get the stuff, which I think I do, place a decent order so that I'm able to get everything. But this is the Lonely Scarecrow palette. It's such a cute color story. Again, I have created loads of looks with this palette, so check those out if you're curious. But I will be creating some more going on, and I just love it. It's such a fun and unique color story, so pretty. Shimmers in here are also superb, really nice. I just really like them as a brand, and I want to try more stuff from them, but this is really cute, really great one for Halloween. It did come in the Ice Cream Beauty box, so if you did get that one when they were still around, it's a keeper. I love it so much. Up next, we also have probably another duo. So these are both from Odin's Eye and the Angelica Nyquist collection. I have not checked out Odin's Eye in quite a while. I've heard like bad things about them, which I don't fully know. I feel like I just need to do some more research, I guess. But I just also like their most past current releases, like I've not been the most excited about. But this is the Trick or Treat palette. Really nice color story. I have definitely mentioned that some of the shades in here can also be used for like Christmas vibe, which I love. Really gorgeous shades. I don't know if they're, there you go, that looks a lot better. But just really pretty shades. I do also want to use this palette together. Mattes are great, shimmers are great. Just a really fun fall, could also be transitioned into Christmas though palette. If they ever were to re-release this one, I think it's a really nice one if you're considering adding it to your collection. I do think that they have several really unique color stories that I know a lot of us in the community love. They have several Christmas palettes, which we'll talk about, of course, next season. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that they're able to kind of come back. I know that they've also really been doing a lot with their singles, which is great and all. This is the little ghost palette. This is your more kind of purpley, yellow, just really cute color story. I do think the Trick or Treat is probably a bit more popular, but there's something about these blues in here and purples that I as well super freaking love. I think if they were to re-release this, they would probably do it as singles, which I guess I don't fully hate because you do get the cover art, which is kind of cool, and then I guess it gives you the option to mix and match. So as a brand, I guess I would say that, or not as guess, I would say that that definitely is a very unique idea. I think it just, I don't know why it feels like it pulls something away. Like I would love to know in the comments, do you think it pulls something away? Because I get that like this, there's not a whole lot like for the packaging on the background, because I believe you would still have this and this. So I don't know. You let me know what your thoughts are with that. I guess I'm happy I have this version, but I'd be curious to see if they did bring it back. Next up, we have by Salem Cosmetics. This is Ghostly Glam. This is a brand that I believe no longer exists, unfortunately. This is their last palette, and it is, I mean, good. The shimmers in here are so good. If you happen to have this baby in your collection, and if you have not checked out the owner, she created so many looks, so freaking inspiring. I also created some looks with this palette as well. It's just a really, really nice one. And if you do have it in your collection, I'd recommend pulling it out. If you want it, you could probably maybe find it on eBay. I don't know. This one's pretty indie. This is the only palette, unfortunately, I do own from the brand, but it's so freaking good. I remember like years ago, I think that even when we talked about Salem Cosmetics and saying that their formula was just like okay or whatever. So I was always like on the fence, but once I tried this one, I'm like hooked. So good. I really hope that they are able to come back in the future because I really, really do like this one. Next up we have, this is my only one from Shelley Makeup. It is the Misty Spirit palette. This is such a unique, I believe this is a C Beauty brand, such a unique color story. So they have the matte. I do have a full length video if you were curious my thoughts of this palette. but they have these beautiful mattes. There are no shimmers in this palette. It's an all matte with 2 cream shades, but these really unique mattes. They're very buttery, very silky, super, I feel like just super creamy, super just gorgeous. Love them. Would love to use this with some shimmers because I've definitely not done that before. And the cream shades in here are also like so nice. I remember, I believe I wore both or most as lipsticks. You can also use them as eyeshadow. It really gets me intrigued to try more from C Beauty, and I definitely need to do that more. I do have that one video recently that came out by Norcorn, I believe is how you say it. I hope I'm not butchering that, which I love that palette as well. So I definitely want to check out more from them in the future. And if you have this baby in your collection, pull it out. I mean, just the... Hello? Just the cover art is like cool, like witchy vibes. Like, it's just my vibe and I love it. It's so freaking cool. Up next is going to be Element of Evil. This color, or this artwork, was also created by Doodles by the Bunny. I did not say, but most of the artwork, if not all of the artwork by Gourmande Girls, is created by Doodles by the Bunny. But this is one that they had, I believe, Sugar Drizzle Polish also asked her to create. And it's so cool. I love this one. And I am still so brokenhearted because, especially as far as I know, either Sugar Drizzle Polish just doesn't exist anymore, or they just really went downhill. Because I do have a palette from them, from my community box, that I absolutely detest, absolutely hate, which when we get to that portion, we will talk about and unfortunately try to create a look with. I guess not bad because they're trying to use up our makeup. But this is this palette here, and it's just such good quality. It's such good quality. It does have some of the mattes have that sparkle, so I don't love, but like this black here, it basically disappears. The bits of the sparkle that are in the shades. If you can get this palette, or if they do decide to relaunch it, run and get it, in my opinion. I think the shimmers in here are so worth it. This palette might have been around like 50 bucks, if not, maybe a little bit more. It'd probably be a little bit more now specifically. Especially because the shimmers in here are really nice, but they are really that nice. I love them. And this vibe is just so cool. Like, it saddens me that they did not stick with this because they seem like they were really coming up. And I don't know what happened. Something must have happened that I think that they had to significantly change their formula and purchase something that was, in my opinion, not as good, a little bit more subpar, a little cheaper, I'm assuming. And I want the best for them, and I want them to be able to come back and create something really good like this, because like I said, this was really good and you can tell that they really invested. And I'm assuming because they've so no longer done that, maybe they just didn't do as well as they hoped they would, but I think it's really, really, really freaking good, and I really hope that they return with something as cool as this. And then lastly in my collection, we have the Wicked Widow Graveyard Smash palette. I barely have played with this palette. This is one of those color stories that, for me, again, really just kind of challenges me because it is so just different colors. And I'm like, what the heck would I create? Now playing with what I have played with, I could definitely do something with the purple and the green. I do wish there were a bit more shades, if I am honest. And here it is formats for shimmers. So you definitely can create something. I'm sure you could probably do this green with this and that. But I hope to create more with this. I might have to bundle this in with something else. Just to get some more use out of it, but also to create some really cool stuff, because everything in this palette is really nice. If I'm honest, so I would swap out this one shade here because it is a satin. It's okay. It's just random shade, but because this is such a small curated palette, I don't personally think it's needed. I think adding in another really cool shimmer and or another matte would have really helped. Even if this was a brown matte or something, I think that would have really helped. You could do it with the orange and you could have really created definitely more looks than currently are available with this palette. But still, it's a really cool, fun one in my collection, and I wanted to show it off because, you know, I love it and I need to get some use out of it. And also the cover art is so freaking cool. And that is going to be it for today's video. I'd love to know down below what you all think of this video. Please give me a like if you didn't enjoy. Please subscribe if you also did enjoy and would like to join me. I would love to have you here. Let me know your favorite Halloween kind of vibe palettes, either ones I mentioned here or not. I love just to hear and love to also check out because hello, I love all things spooky. I would love to just see what you love or what you are playing with. So let me know down below. I hope you're having a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.